What's going on, Moon Gang? I hope you're having a downright wonderful day. My name is Matt, and this channel is all about stocks, trading, and investing. Now, if you've been paying attention to the cannabis sector, you know recently it went sky high, and most recently, it's been having a straight up pretty bad time. In this video, because of the recent blood in the water, we will be doing a technical breakdown of TLRY, APHA, and SNDL, where I'll map out the key price levels that might represent a solid dip buying opportunity. Before we hop into the chart, so let me quickly explain what's going on more of a fundamental level. Today alone, there were some pretty negative articles that dropped. TLRY stocks loses steam as analysts say company not compelling as standalone business. We also saw this one. TLRY downgraded by 2 analysts on valuation concern. TLRY fell Thursday after 2 analysts cut their rating on the diversified Canadian marijuana company on valuation concerns. But just so you know, there has been an overall amount of optimism increase in these marijuana-based companies because of the Democratic Party-led Congress will join with President Joe Biden's administration to legalize cannabis at a federal level. Obviously, if this were to happen, all of these stocks would be massive beneficiaries. But this is what Wall Street is currently saying about the companies. Piper Sandler slashed its ratings to neutral from overweight, but raised its price target to $26 from $15 to reflect recent market movement. But they also said, just to be sure, they're optimistic about TLRY's proposed merger with APHA, and they see improved profitability coming. Meanwhile, another analyst, Benchmark, cut its rating to hold from buy and more than doubled its price target from 12 all the way up to 32. Benchmark analysts also see an excessive valuation, though they also say that APHA merger should enable a step up in profitability. So that's pretty good. So in the meantime, we do see a downtrend in these stocks, but overall, it does seem as if Wall Street is still a long-term bull on these cannabis plays. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's hop into the charts. TLRY trades under the ticker TLRY. It's currently trading, it closed out the day at $27.10, but in post-market trading, as I'm filming this, it's at $26.70. Thus far in 2021, it's still up a very, very respectable 228%. So on the chart, I have TLRY's 2-hour chart. We can see that in post-market trading back on February 10th, it did hit a high of $76.96. But after this run up from the mid-20s to that, it's really been selling off. Now, these yellow levels are just technical levels of support and resistance. When I say support, it's just an area that the stock has bounced off of. And when I say resistance, it's just an area that the stock has been rejected by. In the world of stock trading, it's very important to map out these technical levels because they have support loves to be support in the future. Resistance loves to be resistance in the future. And also they can switch. A previous support can act as resistance and vice versa. And then finally on the bottom, we have the RSI. RSI is one of my favorite technical indicators and it stands for the Relative Strength Index. All it does is map out bullish momentum against bearish momentum. When it gets high, that's quite a bit of bullish momentum. And when it gets low, that's quite a bit of bearish momentum. This is important because when it gets above 70, the RSI has values of 0 to 100. When it gets above 70, that's commonly considered to be overbought. And when it gets below 30, that's considered to be oversold. I wanted to bring this to your attention because right now, at least on the 2-hour time frame, TLRY is getting pretty close to that oversold territory. And I think it maps out well with these upcoming levels of support. Personally, I will be interested in picking up some TLRY at the first level of support, which will come just below $24. And then we have another one around 20. Basically, from a technical perspective, there's a good theoretical chance of the stock bouncing at one of these levels. Now, keep in mind, that's in no way guaranteed, but it is a good way to optimize your risk to reward. Now, with that being said, let's switch things up a little bit to APHA, the company that TLRY is merging with. Also, similarly, back on February 10th, it hit a high. This one was at $32.25. Since then, it has been selling off. Right now, APHA, it closed out the day at just above $19. In post-market, it's now below $19. In 2021, though, it is also up a very impressive 178%. There are a lot of similarities between TLRY and APHA. Right now, it's also at a level of support. Below that, we have another support at 1720, and from there, we have another one at 1565. With this one, I'm already invested in it, but I would love to lower my cost basis at one of these levels, specifically the one just below 16, because I think by then the RSI will very much be in the oversold territory. And I would like to play a reversion play back up to 19, 22.50. And if I get lucky, maybe all the way back up into the 30s. I think overall, they are showing weakness on more of this micro scale, but I think in the long term, TLRY and APHA will end up bouncing. And don't forget, in the second quarter of 2021, it is expected that these two companies will be merging and will be forming one of the largest marijuana companies on this planet. And finally, we have SNDL, which is Sundial Growers. It closed the day out at $1.45, which means it was down 15.7%. Thus far in 2021, it is still up over 200%. So I know these things have been falling recently, but keep in mind, in the year, all three of them are still doing pretty well. So in terms of SNDL, after hitting this high at $4.86, it has very much been selling off. We do have an upcoming support at $1.33, but I'm far more interested in the support from $1 to $1.11. Humans really like trading off those key psychological levels, and I think there's a good chance of it bouncing, even if momentarily at $1. But overall, my personal thesis on all of these stocks are pretty much the same. Right now, there's quite a bit of bearishness in them. I think they could keep selling off in the short term, but in the long term, I do believe that they will be winners. I would love to know your opinion on TLRY, APHA, and SNDL in a comment below. And if you want to stay up to date with the Moon Gang's live streams, clips like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, go over to that bell icon, turn on your notifications, and set it to always so you don't miss any of the new stock market comment. Thanks for spending a portion of your day with me, and remember, best of luck in the markets.